Om Shri Sai Nathaya Namaha. Chapter 29. Stories of Madrasi Bhajani Mela, Tendulkar's father and son, Dr. Captain Hate, and Vaman Narvekar. This chapter described other interesting and wonderful stories of Sai Baba. First, Madrasi Bhajani Mela. It was in the year 1916 that a Madrasi Bhajani Mela, that means party of the Ramdasi Panth, started on a pilgrimage to the holy city of Banaras. The party consisted of a man, his wife, daughter, and sister-in-law. Unfortunately, their names are not mentioned. On their way, the party heard that there lived at Shirdi in Kopargaon Taluka, Ahmednagar district, a great sage named Sai Baba, who was calm and composed, and who was very liberal, and who distributed money every day to his bhaktas and to skillful persons, who went and showed their skill there. A lot of money in the form of dakshina was collected daily by Sai Baba, and out of this amount he gave daily 1 rupee to a 3-year-old girl, Amni, the daughter of a Bhakt Kondaji, and rupees 2 to 5 to some, rupees 6 to Jamli, the mother of Amni, and rupees 10 to 20, and even rupees 50 to other bhaktas as he pleased. On hearing all this, the party came to Shirdi and stayed there. The Mela did very good bhajan and sang very good songs, but inwardly they craved for money. 3 of the party were full of avarice, but the chief lady or mistress was of a very different nature. She had a regard and love for Baba. Once it so happened that when the noonday aarti was going on, Baba was much pleased with her faith and devotion, and gave her vision of her Ishta, means chosen deity. To her Baba appeared as Sitanath, means Rama, while to all the others the usual Sainath. On seeing her beloved deity, she was very much moved. Tears began to flow from her eyes, and she clapped her hands in joy. The people began to wonder at her joyful mood, but were not able to guess its cause. Late in the afternoon, she disclosed everything to her husband. She told him how she saw Shri Rama in Sai Baba. He thought that she was very simple and devout, and her seeing Rama might be a hallucination of her mind. He poofed her, saying that it was not possible, that she alone should see Rama while they all saw Sai Baba. She did not resent this remark, and she was fortunate enough to get Rama darshan now and then, when her mind was calm and composed and free from avarice. Wonderful vision. Things were going on like this when the husband got a wonderful vision in his dream one night as follows. He was in a big city. The police there had arrested him, tied his hands with a rope, and put him up in a cage. As the police were tightening the grip, he saw Sai Baba standing quite outside, near the cage. On seeing Baba so near, he said in a plaintive tone, "After hearing your fame, I resorted to your feet. Then why should a calamity befall me when you are standing here in person?" Baba said, "You must suffer the consequences of your action." He said, "I have not done anything in this life which would bring such a misfortune on me." Baba said, "If not in this life, you must have committed some sin in your past life." He replied, "I do not know anything of my past life, but assuming that I did commit some sin, then why should it not be burnt and destroyed in your presence, as happens to dry grass before fire?" Baba said, you got such faith? He said, Yes. Baba then asked him to close his eyes. No sooner he did shut them than he heard a thumping sound of something falling down, and opening his eyes, he saw that he was free and the police had fallen down, bleeding. Being much frightened, he began to look at Baba, who said, Now you are well caught. Officers will now come and arrest you. Then he begged, There is no other savior except you, Baba. Save me anyhow. Then Baba again asked him to close his eyes. He did so, and when he opened them, he saw that he was free, out of the cage, and that Baba was by his side. He then fell at Baba's feet. Baba then asked him, Is there any difference between this namaskar and your previous ones? Think well and reply. He said, There is a lot of difference, Baba. My former namaskaras were offered with the object of getting money from you. But the present namaskar is one offered to you as God. Besides, formerly, I thought resentfully that you, being a Mohammedan, were spoiling us the Hindus. Then Baba said, Do you not believe in your mind in Mohammedan gods? He said, No. Then Baba said, Have you not got a panja, means emblem of hand, in your house? And do you not worship the same in Tabut? That is Muharram festival. Also there is in your house another Mohammedan deity by name Kard Bibi, whom you propitiate and appease on marriage occasion and other festivals. Is it not so? He admitted all this. Then Baba said, What more do you want? Then a desire arose in his mind to get the darshan of his Guru Ramdas. When Baba asked him to turn back and see, and when he turned back, Ramdas was in front of him. No sooner did he begin to fall at his feet, Ramdas vanished. Then he inquisitively asked Baba, You look old. Do you know your age? Baba said, What? Do you say I am old? Just run a race with me and see. Saying this, Baba began to run, and he too followed. Baba disappeared in the dust raised by his footsteps while running, and the man was awakened. After waking up, he began to think seriously about the dream vision. His mental attitude was completely changed, and he realized the greatness of Baba. After this, his grabbing and doubting tendencies disappeared, and true devotion to Baba's feet sprang in his mind. The vision was a mere dream, but the questions and answers therein were most significant and interesting. Next morning, when all the persons assembled in the masjid for the aarti, Baba gave him as prasad 2 rupees worth sweet meats, and also 2 rupees from his pocket, and blessed him. He made him stay there for a few more days and gave him his blessings, saying, Allah will give you plenty and He will do you all good. He did not get more money there, but he got far better things, like Baba's blessing, which stood him in a good stead all along. The party got plenty of money afterwards, and their pilgrimage was successful, as they had not to suffer any trouble or inconvenience during their journey. They all returned home safe and sound, thinking of Baba's words and blessings and the anand, that means bliss, they experienced by his grace. This story illustrates one of the methods which Baba followed and is following even now in some cases to improve and reform his devotees. Number 2. Tendulkar family. There lived in Bandra, a suburb of Bombay, a Tendulkar family, all the members of which were devoted to Baba. Mrs. Savitribai Tendulkar has published a Marathi book named Shri Sainath Bhajanmala, containing 800 abhangas and padas describing the Leelas of Baba. It is a book worth reading by those who are interested in Baba. The son, Babu Tendulkar, was studying hard day and night and wanted to appear for the medical examination. He consulted some astrologers. On examining his horoscope, they told him that the stars were not favorable that year and that he should appear for the examination next year, when he would be certainly successful. This cast a gloom over him and made him restless. A few days afterwards, his mother went to Shirdi and saw Baba. Amongst other things, she mentioned the gloomy and morose condition of her son, who was to appear for the examination in a few days. On hearing this, Baba said to her, "Tell your son to believe in me, to throw aside horoscope and predictions of astrologers and palmists, and go on with his studies. Let him appear for the examination with a calm mind. He is sure to pass this year. Ask him to trust in me and not to get disappointed." The mother returned home and communicated Baba's message to her son. Then he studied hard and in due course appeared for the examination. In the written papers, he did well, but being overwhelmed by doubts, he thought that he would not secure sufficient marks for passing. So he did not care to appear for the oral examination. But the examiner was after him. He sent word through a fellow student, stating that he had passed in the written examination and that he should appear for the oral. The son, being thus encouraged, appeared for the oral examination and was successful in it also. Thus, he got through the examination that year successfully by Baba's grace, though the stars were against him, as indicated. It is to be noted here that doubts and difficulties surround us just to move us and confirm our faith. We are tested, as it were. If we only hold on steadily to Baba with full faith and continue our endeavors, our efforts will be ultimately crowned with success. The father of this boy, Raghunath Rao, was serving in some foreign mercantile firm in Mumbai. As he grew old, he was not able to attend to his work properly, and so he had to take leave and rest. As he did not improve during the period of leave, a further extension of leave or premature retirement from service was inevitable. The chief manager of the firm decided to retire him on pension, as he was an old and a reliable servant. The question regarding the amount of pension to be given was under consideration. He was getting rupees 150 per month, and his pension, that was half the amount, like rupees 75, would not be enough to meet the expenses of the family. So they were all anxious about this matter. 15 days before the final settlement, Baba appeared to Mrs. Tendulkar in her dream and said, "I wish that rupees 100 should be paid as pension. Will this satisfy you?" She replied, "Baba, why ask me this? We fully trust in you." Though Baba said rupees 100, still he was given 10 rupees more, that is rupees 110, as a special case. Such wonderful love and care did Baba exhibit towards his bhaktas. Let's hear the story of Captain Hate. Captain Hate, who was staying in Bikaner, was a great devotee of Baba. Once Baba appeared to him in his dream and said, "Did you forget me?" Hate then immediately held Baba's feet and replied, "If a child forgets his mother, how could it be saved? Then Hate went into the garden and took out fresh valpapadi, vegetables, and arranging shidha, that means ghee, wheat flour, and dal, etc., and dakshina, was about to offer all this to Baba when he was awakened and came to know that the whole thing was a dream. Then he decided to send all these things to Baba at Shirdi. When he came to Gwalior, some days afterwards, he sent rupees 12 by money order to a friend with instructions that rupees 2 should be spent in buying Shidha articles and Valpapadi vegetables, and those should be offered to Baba with rupees 10 as dakshina. The friend went to Shirdi and purchased the things mentioned, but Valpapadi was not available. In a short time, a woman turned up with a basket on her head, which curiously enough contained the vegetables. It was purchased, and then all the things were offered to Baba on behalf of Captain Hate. Mr. Nimonkar prepared the rice and Valpapadi vegetables as a Naivedya next day and offered the same to Baba. All the people were surprised to see that Baba, while dining, took and ate Valpapadi and did not touch rice and other things. Hate's joy knew no bounds when he heard of this from his friend. Consecrated rupee. At another time, Captain Hate wished that he should have in his house a coin of rupee consecrated by Baba with his touch. He came across a friend who was bound for Shirdi. With him, Hate sent his rupee. The friend went to Shirdi and after the usual salutation gave first his dakshina, which Baba pocketed. Then he gave Hate's rupee, which Baba took in his hand and began to stare at it. He held it in front, tossed it up with his right thumb and played with it. Then he said to the friend, "Return this to its owner with the prasad of Udi. Tell him that I want nothing from him. Ask him to live in peace and contentment." The friend returned to Gwalior, handed over the consecrated rupee to Hate, and told him all that happened at Shirdi. This time Hate was much pleased and realized that Baba always encouraged good thoughts, and as he wished intently, Baba fulfilled the same accordingly. Number 4. Vaman Narvekar. Now let the readers hear a different story. A gentleman named Vaman Narvekar loved Baba very much. He once brought a rupee. On one side, obverse of it were engraved the figures of Ram, Lakshman and Sita, and on the other, means reverse side, was engraved the figure of Maruti with folded hands. He offered it to Baba with a hope that he should consecrate it with his touch and return it to him with Udi. But Baba immediately pocketed it. Then Shama spoke to Baba regarding Vaman Rao's intention and requested him to return it. Then Baba spoke in the presence of Vaman Rao. "Why should it be returned to him? We should keep it ourselves. If he gives rupees 25 for it, it will be returned." Then for the sake of that rupee, Vaman Rao collected rupees 25 and placed them before Baba. Then Baba said, "The value of that rupee far exceeds 25 rupees. Shama, take this rupee. Let us have it in our store. Keep this in your shrine and worship it." No one had the courage to ask Baba why he followed this peculiar action. He only knows what is best and most suitable to each and all. Bow to Shri Sai. Peace be to all. Sainath Maharaj ki Jai. Ah